My experience with Janet began in the mid-1980s. I saw her name listed in a news article in the Three Ring News, which is the official publication of the Midwest Clown Association. She was listed as a clown teacher who also had faith in Jesus Christ. I paused and I mused and I waited until that evening, and then I picked up the telephone and called the operator in the 219 area code and asked if there was a Janet Tucker that lived in that zone. She did. So I called. I introduced myself. Hi, Janet. I'm Randy Christensen, and I'm a clown, and I'm also a Christian, and I wondered if you had a few moments to talk with me about clown ministry. And that was the start of one of my greatest friendships on this side of heaven. My dear friend Janet immediately became a right-hand person to me in this area of clowning ministry. She opened my eyes to new possibilities and opened new doors for opportunity. For many years, Janet and I worked together side by side to help the clown ministry department of the International Fellowship of Christian Magicians, helping it to grow healthy, numerically, and in effectiveness. It was because of Janet that I was introduced to the UW La Crosse Clown Camp and the excellence that it not only displayed, but actually planted that seed within me. Janet introduced me to the World Clown Association and invited me to be on the newly formed Clown Ministry Committee. My involvement there and her continued coaching and support brought me to places that I had never even dreamt of. Every step of the way was suggested, guided, encouraged, supported by my dear friend. Janet was a clear thinker and a clear communicator. I remember being at clown camp that first year of me being at a professional training opportunity. To that point in time, I had basically been self-taught, or had been taught by self-taught people. Well, we were told to put on our makeup and costumes before breakfast and be ready to wear them throughout the day. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, since I had been taught that when you put on the nose, you are the character. So in every class that morning and walking through the halls, I strove to portray my stupid character, Simon the Clown. At lunch, I sat with Janet and others, and after just a couple minutes, Janet, in her clear fashion, turned to me and simply said, "Stop it!" I paused and replied in Simon's voice, What do you mean? Stop what? I'm Simon the Clown. She continued, "Just stop it. You're annoying me." And then she began a short and clear lesson for me about what it means to be in character and the proper time to drop character. It's one of the many memories I have where Janet helped me grow in a practical way. If she disagreed with my thoughts, she would often push me off center by saying something like, "Well, have you considered this?" Or, "Well, I've found that maybe a better way to approach this would be to..." And I found that the more I listened, the more I grew, and the better response I would have. This was not only true in my clowning, but in my life and my family and my faith. I became the president of the World Clown Association primarily because of the influence and encouragement of Janet Tucker and Richard Snowberg. In 2017, the World Clown Association had their convention in Bangkok, Thailand, and it was the end of my first year as president of the association. Just weeks before this convention, Janet had gone into the doctor and had been diagnosed with cancer in her hip. At the convention, I gave a brief presidential address, and then, with tears in my eyes, I spoke about Janet. I committed the second year of my presidency to be done in honor of Janet Tucker, my dying friend. Well, miraculously, truly miraculously, God brought healing to Janet. I've been so thankful over these last 9 years for the extra time that we've had. I'm thankful for how she opened her home, her arms, her heart to my family. I'm a better man because of her, and I look forward in faith believing to when I get to sit and laugh with her and Larry again. May God bless the memory of my dear friend, Jelly Bean.